Yes, yes. Welcome y'all to Insane Poetry TV. I think maybe I got the light on a little much. Let me see if I can dim some of that down. See if I can turn some of the light down. Let's see. This over more. Yeah. So much light on this particular spot. Maybe I need to do something with it, but what the hell. Alright. We're gonna keep this kind of what it is. We gotta make sure we get some people in here. What's up, Purple E Rock? Salute. You already know what it is, man. Ah, so. First of all, it's Insane Poetry TV. So check this out. I'm gonna be doing a lot of, like you already know, I do sports shit. So this is not gonna be one of the ones I talk about who I met and all that other stuff and how I met these people. This is actually talking about this yesterday. Super Bowl. Rams versus the Bengals. Now, when I came in thinking about it, Rams versus Bengals, I was really like, you know, I like both of them, but I'm from LA, so it's like I'm gonna vote, root for an LA team regardless. But I wasn't sleeping on the Bengals either, and I've been following Burrow from for a minute, from LSU. So for y'all that already know I do sports, I do sports. So that's what it is. So this is for my sports heads or people who fuck with it. So anyway, shout out to all y'all. Anyway, if you fuck with me, Insane Poetry, please like, share, and hit the bell. Please subscribe to the channel as much as you can. Subscribe to the motherfucking channel. Subscribe. That's what we're gonna do. Hit the button, the bell. Make sure gives you that illumination. Say you follow everything I do. So when I drop, whether I'm doing a how I met or if I'm doing some related to some sports related things, I have a few other things I'm going to talk to you all about. That's kind of more real deal shit. Uh, I don't know. Dastin Nakoni, what up, Dastin Nakoni? Have no idea who you are, but salute to you, big, for jumping in. This shit, like I said, man, I'm just here to talk about the halftime show of the Super Bowl. Now, let's keep it clear. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from that era. So to see Dr. Dre, to see um, Eminem, excuse me, damn, first time my vocal went like that. Eminem, Snoop Dogg, or however role you want to put it. I'm just going. It was Dr. Dre. He put it together. Dr. Dre, Snoop, Mary J. Blige, M. Kendrick Lamar, 50 Cent came out as a surprise guest. Now, I was anxiously waiting, just like all y'all heads out there, to see what this was gonna be like. Like for real. I was anxiously waiting to see the West Coast finally, and just even on some rap shit, but the West Coast as global as hip hop is, be represented in an NFL, the biggest NFL game ever at halftime. Now I've seen some really dope halftime shows. One of my favorites, Michael Jackson. Another one of my favorites, Prince, killed it, all the way killed it. Another one of my favorites, Whitney Houston. Another one, most recently too, actually, most recently, that really killed it. Justin Timberlake, he killed it. People was kind of shitting on him. I'm not talking about the one with Janet Jackson. I'm talking about the one he was giving it up for Prince. I mean, that was a hell of a Super Bowl, performance, halftime performance. You had to give it up. But I have to say Bruno Mars with his little weird ass. And the weekend had really the weekend shit was okay. It was cool. I was fucking with it, maybe because it was just I was into. But I'm telling you, Bruno Mars shit was on fire. Big shouts to Bruno Mars for making that shit poppin'. So, but we had, like I said, we had Doc Dre, Snoop. Snoop just acquired Death Row Records, back again. Just dropped a new album. Big shout out to Snoop Dogg, OG. He's more. It's nothing for me to say. Go check, go get his new album, go listen to it, at least go put something on it. Um, Back on Death Row, BODR. He just reacquired Death Row Records. So a lot of artists on the West Coast that worked with Death Row Records that was money was in limbo. And Snoop coming from an artist perspective, he might be able to plug dudes back in and put them in a scenario, bro. So that's a beautiful thing. Big shout out to Big Snoop Dogg on real shit. I remember, I didn't meet Snoop Dogg, but I remember when I first saw him. That's why I'm gonna talk about it on here. It was like first time I saw Snoop. I was on a panel in L.A. or no, in Compton actually. It was in Compton, California, and it was the gangster rap panel. And I was the only dude that was on the panel that wasn't really a gangster. I had the album Grim Reality at the same time. I had Tweety Bird. It was Tweety Bird on it on the panel. Uh, um, my guy from Lynch Mob, Trey, JD from Lynch Mob, big JD from Lynch Mob, he was on it. And big shouts to JD. His shit got cut short on whatever. That's a long time ago, but he was on that panel. Maxine Waters, big shout out to Maxine Waters. She was on that panel, and a dude from Compton named Tweety Bird Low. He passed away recently, not recently, but he passed away. But Tweety Birdlow was from Compton, and everybody from Compton knew who he was. So, um, on that note, I was on it like not even on some rap shit. I was on my horrorcore shit. I mean, at that time it wasn't even called horrorcore. I was just on some grim reality shit. The only person I really fuck with that I thought was remotely in my lane in Cali was X-rated, and X-rated because he was actually produced by Brother Lynch Hung. But that's a whole nother, a whole nother different thing. You know what I'm saying? I can get into that later. We back on the NFL. So halftime show. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's talk to it. I just want to give y'all a little background before I got to it. So let's get to it. Basically, I watched the shit, one of the most fiery shows I've ever seen. First of all, because we got to get some hip hop into this West Coast shit all day, all dubs, aye, all day, all dubs. But I have to say, I saw online, you have people who super praised it. It was, you could tell it was a party. I was with Lynch, Scum, my bro, Brew. We watching this shit, fucking getting it in, right? And all of us is waiting for the halftime shit. So we watching it, and the way the shit was set up. Let's start off first of all how the setup was when Dre was set up. The whole white board, big ass SSL. I don't even know if that was an SSL 9000 all whited out. That shit was fucking crazy, bro. And then they up on top of the building, yo. And first of all, if you don't even know what's up with West Coast, culture, and not even just West Coast culture, fucking Linwood, Compton, that have Tam's Burgers, bro. Like Tam's Burgers is that joint out there. Compton, California, Tam's is it, bro. It's like that's where shit go. You get your pastrami sandwiches. It's facts, bro. So he had that there. They had the lowriders, the whole thing. Shit was mad crazy, bro. And it was like Dre come out with that. I was already up, bro. Already up. And then Snoop come out and join him. And they rock it out. They go downstairs, come back up, do their shit, and then they point down and here's 50 Cent hanging down like his first, not his first video from Aftermath, but in the club, the hit, he hanging down from upside down, and he's spitting. A lot of memes is on 50 right now because they said he's looking like a dollar, like 75 cents to a dollar. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man. Why should he a mogul? He ain't fake, bro. He got millions. He's putting out the shows y'all watch all the time on this series, bro. Of course not. So yeah, okay. So it was good to see 50 on it. You know what I'm saying? Word out. So good look on 50 Cent. Being the guest of it, and I I'm gonna keep it 100% real funky with y'all. That's fucking with me. Mary J. Blige's performance had my hair standing the fuck up, yo. Like she was getting it on that Dr. Dre joint, but then when she did that real joint right afterwards, bro, motherfuckers looking, I was like, whoo, the emotions. I'm like, man, and she murdered that shit. And then going after that, going to Kendrick Lamar, my God, oh my God. I think y'all motherfuckers be sleeping on K. Dot, bro. Like, you underground niggas is missing the point. Cause I'm seeing people shitting on his performance. Like, are you kidding me? This nigga was killing it. The fact is, it's not a he don't have songs that transcend time because he's a modern dude. He ain't got to that yet. To where that's a nostalgic for y'all to remember like a Dre and Snoop and all of that stuff like that right now. So on that note, for Kendrick to be included, because man, if you really paid attention on how he was on his shit on on me, bro, on me. Big shout out to K Dot, bro. Kendrick Lamar is that guy, bro. Straight the fuck up. Now, then you have right after that the rhyme bender goat. Come on, man. Eminem is that dude, bro. Eminem is that dude. Okay. Now, I've been Eminem, he did his part. When he did Lose Yourself, everybody went mad. You know what I'm saying? Went mad. It was just like you could look at around the state. I mean, they was all losing. They was all going crazy anyway. You look around the stadium when it was panning and all that stuff like that. I'm like, man, this is one of the most litest Super Bowl halftime performances in a long time because you know why? It's been so far in between when you had the lit shit. Like, don't get me wrong, Bruno Mars shit was actually on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to get some hip hop shit at the Super Bowl, yeah, you expect that at an NBA game or some shit like that, but not at the Super Bowl. They real stern about what they're gonna allow, and for the everybody for the last, I think, for the last 18 months, you've seen a change in NFL's policies and stuff like that. Big shout out to Jay-Z for that. I can go into more depth about that, but I just want to say the halftime performance was absolutely phenomenal. Um, Absolutely phenomenal. And there's gonna be people that's gonna have the exact opposite opinion of mine on this shit, and they do. They already do. I've already heard it. I've already heard it. I've heard people say, "Oh, the halftime shit was whack." And all that shit like that. I'm like, you never lived on the coast, and if you did, you wouldn't have never said it's whack. I don't give a fuck what color you was. You just wasn't gonna say it was whack because it was not whack. It wasn't trash. It wasn't none of that. Oh, the best person. If you live on the West Coast and you say it was trash, that's just your opinion. I ain't mad about it, yo. You know what I'm saying? You can have an opinion about certain artists on here. I know personally, my guy had an issue with somebody personally that performed on that particular thing in the scenario, and he put that shit to the side and said the performance was fire as fuck. The person in real life is a asshole for life to him, but he put all that energy aside and said that was the fucking great performance. That's why I salute people who can get past dumb shit and say, you're not even that dumb shit. That's just like, that's personal. But they can get past some things and just acknowledge how dope certain things was. So big shout to that person for acknowledging that within themselves. But back to Kendrick Lamar. A lot of people didn't fuck with that shit. And then there's some people who loved it all the way out. The whole thing was fire. To me, in my opinion, 50's performance live wise was not on point. He's probably had the weakest, and other than that, I think Eminem felt a tad bit uncomfortable. You could see it. M has said it during. He was like scared to do this shit live. You can't get it back when it's live. It's like I can't return this shit back when I'm saying. That's why I don't give a fuck. That's why I think he had to be at. So overall, Dre Snoop killed it. Snoop showed you that he a boss all the way through, and he's iconic and famous. So salute to the halftime show, Insane Poetry. I'm out.